Here we are driving down the highway in Tennessee. I'm with my dear friend Jake Smith, creative director, also jack of all trades, but mostly in the trade of entertainment business. The go-to guy on any set anywhere in America or globally. So we had a little bit of a drive. We did a little filming at my home, where I was born, my birthplace in Summertown, Tennessee, and now we're heading back to Nashville. So I'm using this car time to do an Asking Friends with Jake. Kind of last minute, I didn't get to promote it on Instagram or anything, so but we're just going for it on the road. And yeah, I'm gonna flip it over to Jake. I'm gonna just give him the 10 plus questions that I do and go from there. So you don't need to look, you can stay looking at the road.
Yeah, I figured as much.
All right, here we go. You're on, and we got 18 people checking out what's going on.
All right, hi 18 people. I'm Jake Smith, here with my good friend Luke Wessman. Please pardon my side face, I'm driving.
So what I do, I don't know if you've seen any of them before, have you?
I have.
Oh, so you...
one or two of them, admittedly, now to you. Sorry.
Okay.
Fairly busy, being jack of all trades.
No, it's okay. I usually like when the person getting interviewed never sees it, because then they don't know any of the questions that are coming.
There you go.
So maybe I'll just...
I definitely don't remember the questions.
Okay, cool.
So that's
cool.
I know the formula of it.
All right, man.
Here we go.
Can you guys hear us okay? Testing 1, 2. Anybody there? Yep. Oh, dope. Thank you. Thank you. We got some Hey Jake, sound good. Yep. Thanks, guys. All right, man. Sorry about it being shaky. We're on the road. We're speeding. We're in a tight time crunch. We're actually rushing back to the city. We're going to hopefully link up with our buddy Yellow Wolf and do some cool stuff at the tattoo shop. But that's a whole nother story.
Production.
Time.
Time.
Yeah.
Call sheets. Staying on schedule. Just little things that I try to, do to make sure we don't waste all of our time here in Tennessee.
All right, Jake, first question. And you don't have to go long with it. It can be pretty quick. You can even be like, skip it,
No, I'm gonna skip it, but I'll keep it,
What did you want to be when you were young?
Growing up, my mom was an actress in the theater. And growing up, I grew up pretty much like in a tiny little one-bedroom apartment in Queens. And my mom was, an actress in the sense of like theater, off-Broadway kind of acting, like real acting, not, movie stars making big budget stuff. We never had much money, but she provided. So, growing up, pretty much up until the time I was about 18 or 19, I always wanted to be, an actor. I knew I was going to be in film and television in some capacity. For the younger years, it really was more geared towards acting and kind of stuff like that. I actually was in a film when I was 17 years old called Holes.
It was a big film, I feel like, right? It was a Disney?
It was a Disney movie, a Buena Vista movie, but that's a Disney movie. It was a Disney movie.
Maybe I should get your autograph after we're done with this.
Maybe, man, maybe, But I went out there. I was already out of high school at the time. I went out there, and I really got a sense of camera, production, a lot more. I had been on sets before, obviously growing up doing little indie features and stuff, like as an actor, but really going out there and seeing, big, it was directed by Andrew Davis, who did The Fugitive and Collateral Damage and a bunch of movies. So, being on set with him and, this big crew, I just fell in love with it and really saw that was another aspect of the film industry that I could do. And ironically enough, when I got back to New York from shooting that, there was a lot more work behind the camera than there was auditioning in front, and there was a lot more money in it. And being a young guy that needed to provide for myself, I kind of flipped behind the camera, and it's now been 12 years or so, and I haven't really acted in front of the camera again, which I'm fine by. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to be, and I hope I answered another question and kind of how I transitioned away from what I do today.
That was great, man. I forget that you were in Holes.
Yeah,
I actually never seen it, but I remember seeing the movie being out in public. Like, it was a big movie.
Yeah, you and your Periscope.
I'm gonna watch it now.
Are now privy to a rarity, which is Jake Smith talking about the fact that he was in Holes. I go out of my way not to talk about that. So. All
right, man. Well, we're gonna jump through these because I feel like we're getting closer to our destination. So I want to get more of this out of you. The next one, we go to a whole nother psyche here. What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of letting down my friends and family. I'm afraid of, not not providing for my son and my family, and you know, letting my shit get in the way of helping the people that I need to help out, and you know, breaking the link in all of us taking care of each other, and me being a part of that breaking the link.
That's some serious stuff, man. No joke. Okay. Now I'm popping around a little bit. So the next thing is, what do you love about yourself? As humble as you can answer that. No, just kidding.
I love the fact that I'm a New Yorker.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever take that away from me. It's in my blood. I grew up riding the train. You know, I grew up in an apartment building, modest upbringing, and I love that about myself, that I'm a New Yorker.
Yeah, I feel like that just being an outsider, I feel like I see a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
Not from you directly, but just in general, like New Yorkers have a swag, which I hate using that word, but they have a swag that no one else can have. And then being in New York, there's not a lot of New Yorkers that I ran into in general because there's so many tourists and new people. So you meet those real New Yorkers, and I feel like a lot of them are proud to be New Yorkers because they're like the original.
Yeah. New York's a pretty cool place, so the fact that you're kind of like an original OG of the, you know, of the New York, you know, it kind of, that pride sticks with you, and you can definitely love that about yourself.
All right, cool, man. I like that. All right, what don't you like? Did we already ask you that?
No.
Or what are you afraid of? Okay, this is like, what don't you like about yourself?
You know, what don't I like about myself? I get in my head a lot. I worry about what other people think about me.
Yeah.
And that's a poison to the brain, man. That's worse than anthrax. That's worse than opening up an envelope and just doing a line of thrax, you know, thraxing yourself. You know, you don't want to thrax yourself, so, you know, you don't want to get in your head too much about what other people think about you, and that's definitely something that I do.
And the funny part is people are probably not thinking about you as much as you think they are in general, right?
No,
like the things that you're worried about, a lot of times they're not even like registering.
They're thinking about themselves.
But I got a little bit of the same way in me, man.
The speed limit is 65 miles per hour.
Okay, let's go on to the next. Which house would you belong to in the Game of Thrones? I don't know if you watch it.
I don't watch Game of Thrones. My wife does. She's wholehearted. I know that probably, though, from the 1 or 2 episodes that I have seen, watching, like, you know, to be good, you know, all right, I'll sit down and watch. This is your shit. All the dudes with the big fur. The guys, I know, but there's like one, there's like dark. They're like, you know, like they're always in like a dark, dimly lit thing. I feel like they're like the kind of Vikings of the episode.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the Night's Watch, probably.
Probably.
Those are like the guys protecting the wall.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that are like,
the dark is coming, or the winter, or whatever's coming. They're the ones always repeating the fact that it is coming. They got the big, you know, they look like, you know, they're one, you know, tear of a turkey leg away from having an aneurysm. Those guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. No one has mentioned that I've asked. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's the people that either got exiled there or that chose to go there and defend
very much me.
The world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, very much me.
So, all right, man, cool. Great answer. If you get a new tattoo, what would it be?
So, if I got a new tattoo, it would be the tattoo that I've been waiting to get for quite a while, but I'm a lightfoot when it comes to tattoos. I've been wanting to get an eye, you know, a human eye with an old 35mm lens as the eyeball. I'm sure that it's probably been done before. I'm not very original. I have a few ways of me wanting to tweak it to my own personality, but that, you know, because I really genuinely feel as if it means a lot to me, because I'm always, I mean, I feel like my eyeballs are lenses. Every part of the day, I'm literally just seeing stuff as framing and, you know, light and texture and color, and so so that would be something that means a lot to me.
Like in my line of work, I see everything as like a tattoo idea.
Right.
So you see everything like you see it as like a in camera, in the frame. How would the frame be? That's rad. All right, another one. Seinfeld or Friends?
Seinfeld. Get out of here. Friends. I mean, it's, you know, maybe at 2 a.m, like at the hotel, but Seinfeld, man. Seinfeld.
Yeah, of course. I generally don't like to ask people that I think are going to say Friends. Like I don't like to keep that kind of company. I mean,
I feel like even if you do say Friends, keep that shit to yourself.
Oh man. Cool. Next thing is, what's an appropriate age for a child to have like an iPhone or an iPad, do you think?
I mean, I have a 2-year-old son, and he's already in, like, as much as we wanted to not have it be a part, he already is. So to answer that question, I feel like 21. Like, you should just be able to, 21.
What
If
about
you can't drink yet, you shouldn't be able to, like, get on the internet and do all that stuff, man. I'm a wholehearted believer in getting out and, like, experiencing it and doing it for yourself.
what about the idea of staying current though and being able to utilize the tools like maps and shit like that?
Read
Like,
a book. Get an old map. You know, if we're coming up on this exit, on this piece of paper, it says I should get off.
yeah.
You know,
Is this the right exit?
I think so.
Okay.
It's right here.
All right. Let me jump to some of my other questions. I mean, I think we already are hit 10 or about around 10, which is perfect because we're almost home.
Cool.
But let me hit a couple more real quick. Have you ever been in a fight? Fist
I
fight?
have.
Yeah.
Not many. I've been in one or two. I've you know, I know, as we say in New York, I know how to throw these things. You know, I'm not the big fighter. I'm a big pacifist. I really don't believe in any of that shit. But every now and then, you know, you got to get into it. And I was always the one
Trying to break it up.
Yeah.
That's
Defending myself, but saying, "Come on, guys."
What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
No question, huh?
No.
No runner-ups, so that's the main one.
Yeah, no runner-ups. I mean, you know, it's a good wholehearted curse. It's really got some structure to it. It's got a lot. It's good. It's got good syllables to it. And, you know what I mean. It's good. And you know, you can add it, right? Like, so I growing up, you know what I mean, as a New Yorker, you know what I mean. Motherfucker was like a big, you know what I mean, motherfucker. So that might be it, actually. Adding the motherfucker.
I like the motherfucker.
Motherfucker, maybe, yeah. You know, fuck is a general, but under the fuck umbrella, my favorite
I feel like
one is.
motherfucker could be a little more urban. Is that a shitty thing? I mean, a weird thing to say, but you know what I mean? Like a little more.
If
urban.
you use it in that term, I feel like outside of the urban, like it's used as like that motherfucker, but like to us, it's like, oh, this motherfucker right here, man, look at this dude. You know what I mean? It's a lot more like it's throwaway. You know what I mean?
All right, I got a couple more I like to ask. If you're given a book with the story of your life, would you read the ending? From fuck to some deep shit.
If I was given the book of my life, would I read the ending? You know, here's the thing. It depends on whether we're talking about I'm giving it for like an hour or whether it's like sitting on the shelf. You know, I feel like if somebody was like, hey man, there's the book, like the vault's open for the next 25 minutes, you either do it or you don't, I'd definitely walk away and say no. But I feel like if the book of my life with the ending was just sitting on the shelf, inherently I would inevitably do it.
Wow, that's a cool perspective, man. Yeah,
you know,
like you wouldn't be able to. It just
I wouldn't
sit
be able
there
to,
and sit there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to help it. But if it was a quick, like, you know, like crossroads and the devil comes up and he's there, poof, and he's like, hey man, 10 minutes, I'm gonna leave that book on that rock and then it's gonna disappear, I just walk away.
I like that, man. One more thing I'm gonna throw in there. Actually, I'm gonna try to remember two more questions. But one is, what do you think? What's a gentleman?
That's a good question, man, especially with your thing. You know, I think that there's two things that make a gentleman. I think a gentleman is made up and comprised of respect, first and foremost. Respect for others, respect for yourself. Because if you can't respect yourself, how are you going to respect anyone else? That's totally cheesy bumper sticker, but it's true. So respect, and also, you know, what makes a gentleman is understanding the fact that, you know, there was some stuff back in the days, and there have been some things that have been set up, you know, in the world that are customs that you need to live by. Being gentle and kind to women, you know, raising your kid right, caring about what you do for a living, your craft, you know. So, you know, I think that in today's day and age, we've definitely gone down, you know, a long road of kind of self-sufficient and the internet and a lot of this, and I think a lot of that gets lost in all that. You know, I can be totally on my own and work from home, all this and that and the other, and the gentleman aspect of kind of, you know, that kind of fades away. So that.
Nice.
Having respect and understanding that some of those classic ways aren't necessarily old ways that, you know, you need to lean away from. You know, like pulling a chair out for a woman is not a bad thing. Yeah. You know, raising your kid right, treating people right is, you know.
My buddy Toby Morse's son, Max, who's 12, said something really cool. He said, and you know, holding the door open for ladies, but then he's like, but also just anybody.
Yeah.
Not just ladies, which is kind of a cool thing and a really cool thing to hear from a little guy, you know?
Yeah.
Nice, man. And then one of my questions I like to end with is, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy is doing projects like I'm doing right now. Out and about in Tennessee with my good man Luke Wessman. We're making our own stuff. We're doing it the way that we want to do it, and you know, that just makes me happy, man. You know, making art with friends. That's it. So 86, everything I just said. What makes me happy is doing what I love with my friends.
Yeah, that's dope. All right.
There we go.
Dope, man. That was great, Jake. That was a good car impromptu one in Nashville. This is our last day. We actually have a really tight time crunch today. We're out of here pretty soon, and yeah, this was a cool time to just throw one out. We were on the road for about an hour, but we needed the GPS for half the trip. So once we got on the long straightaway, I pulled this one out.
And to end this Periscope, I have been totally driving for the last 10 minutes, not knowing where the fuck I've been going.
Is that we're lost?
Totally lost. So we need to end this and turn the GPS back on.
All right. See you guys.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
All right, let's figure out where we are here before we get some rednecks trying to rope us up.